hello. I welcome you to the North Carolina Annual Conferences Northern District Church School Convention. It's a virtual experience this year. It's different because we are living in the days of a pandemic. We're living in days of unrest and times where most of us are pretty uncertain. We've never done what we're doing now. But all of that is okay. It's okay, and wanted to take the time today as we continue in the theme, our theme this year being keeping the light on or letting your light shine. This is how I shine. This is how I shine. And we have used a number of scriptures to go with that, but I wanted to take some time today to talk with you about some simple ways that we might care for ourselves, keeping the light on. That light that shines within us, that light that all of the circumstances of life have begun to try to snuff out. You know, there's an old Negro spiritual that speaks to keeping your lamps trimmed and burning, keeping your lamps trimmed and burning, keeping your lamps trimmed and burning, for the time is drawing nigh. Oh, sisters, don't you get weary. Brothers, don't you get weary, for the time is drawing nigh. It's our faith that makes us happy. It's our faith that makes us happy. And so in these days when we're finding ourselves feeling a little weary and maybe that inner light is being snuffed out by one circumstance or another, I wanted to take some time to help us to recharge and brighten our light again. For we don't know the day or the time, but the Lord calls us to continue to be in service. It is in Luke, the 12th chapter, the 35th verse, that calls us to be dressed and ready for service and keep your lamps burning. So how do we keep our light on? How do we keep our lamps burning? Well, I wanted to share with you just a little bit of practical exercise, one that would help us. And when it seems that life has been snuffing out our light, centering exercise is what we'll call it. It's to ground and to recharge your light. And so I'm going to ask that you would position yourself in a position that is comfortable to you. It may be putting your feet on the floor, resting your hands in your lap, but in a way that you are comfortable and that you would be uninterrupted by shifting, moving, because we're going to center ourselves and we need to be aware of our own bodies and what's happening with us. And so if you would, just begin with me now, and we'll start by just inhaling a deep breath and exhaling, and we'll do that in 3 cycles. So if you would with me, just inhale deeply. Done that, let's now begin our centering exercise. It's a simple one. It's called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so now that we have kind of cleared our minds and also refueled some of those red blood cells with some good oxygenated blood by our deep breathing, and even just being reminded that we have to breathe. We have to breathe. It's essential. It's essential. So having done that, I want you to, in the 5, 4, 3, 1, an exercise that we'll do in 5 minutes or less, or if you'd care to do this at another time and spend some time with it, that's wonderful too. The first thing I'd ask you to do as we are sitting and we're breathing is to notice, look around for 5 things. Look around and notice 5 things. 5 things such as, is there a wall in front of you? What color is that wall? What's on that wall? Is there a picture on that wall? What are the colors you see in that picture? is there a window on the wall? Just noticing there what's ahead of us, centering ourselves and noting 5 things, and taking a moment to recognize those 5 things. And if there's one of those things you like especially well, if it's the color, or if it is just the visual of a window and how windows are opportunities, just take note of that. 4, I want you to take a moment and observe 4 things that you can feel. 4 things that you feel in this moment with your body. Such as, do you feel the floor beneath your feet? Do you feel what it is that you're sitting on? Do you feel the air in the atmosphere? Is it cool? Is it warm? What are you feeling on your arms? Possibly you're holding your hands together, or your hands are feeling one another, or maybe even the fabric that is beneath your hand. What are you feeling? 3, let us listen. Listen to hear 3 sounds. 3 sounds that may be always there, but we hadn't, or we take for granted. Such as, can you hear the ticking of a clock? Do you hear voices in the background? Maybe possibly you hear birds chirping, or the rustling of leaves. Maybe you hear the whirl of a ceiling fan, or the air conditioning, or the heat. What way can we remind ourselves of 2 smells, 2 things that we enjoy smelling? The smell of maybe lavender that brings calm to us. Maybe someone can reminisce about the smell of cookies baking in the oven. Another may say, oh, I love to smell the evergreen or the grass being cut. Let us together inhale and remember those things that we sense with our nose that also lighten us up and bring us joy. Reminding ourselves to smile when we smell them. And then finally, if you could taste one thing in this moment, what would that be? Is it something cold? Or is it something warm? Maybe it's something hot. Maybe it's something sweet or savory even. That taste as it hits our tongues, is it smooth and satisfying? This is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In these few moments, we've noticed 5 things around us, and choosing one that would make us smile, that would lighten us up, cause our light to shine brighter. In these few moments, we listened or felt 4 things and listened for 3 sounds while we reminisced on 2 favorite smells and that one taste. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good, and that even without knowing what tomorrow holds, we know who holds tomorrow. In this moment, I would ask that you would continue to breathe, that you would continue to let your light shine by recharging using this little exercise of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things I see, 4 things I feel, 3 things I hear, 2 things I smell, and 1 thing to taste. Using all of our being in 5 minutes or less. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. And let your light shine. That you would be dressed and ready for service by keeping your lamps trimmed and burning. God bless you. Breathe in and breathe out.